Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Srimadbhagavatam ki jai. All glories to the simple devotees. All glories to the simple devotees. All glories to the simple devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. I don't know, I don't know where we have any Bhagavatams. I don't know if we have some more Bhagavatams up in there in that room.
Oh, you need a book, huh?
Yeah, for the speaker.
There's one over here that you wrote.
Oh, really? Which one did you use?
No, I used my phone.
Oh, really?
No book.
Mm.
There's a set upstairs in Ryan's old room, but the fourth canto part one is missing.
There's no one up there, huh? Nabhinanda's room?
Where's your iPad?
Are there no books in Nabhinanda's? Oh.
You can use my reader. What's the verse? 413.
I could use this.
Oh, I'm gonna have to surrender to using that iPad.
Okay. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, entitled, what is 4 entitled? The Creation of the Fourth Order. In Chapter 1, Daughters of Manu, is a short version, and text 3. Prajapati sa Bhagavan Ruchistasyam Aji Janat Madunam Brahma Varchasvi Paramena Samadhina Prajapati sa Bhagavan Ruchistasyam Aji Janat Matunang Brahma Varchasvi Paramena Samadhina Prajapati sa Bhagavan Ruchistasyam Aji Janat Matunam Brahma Varchasvi Paramena Samadhina. Please chant. Anyone else? This is a very difficult one, though. Yeah.
Prajapati sa Bhagavan. Prajapati sa Bhagavan. Ruchistasyam Ajijana. Ruchistasyam Ajijana. Yutinam Brahma Varchasvi. Yutinam Brahma Varchasvi. Paramena Samadhina. Paramena Samadhina.
Okay. Prajapati, one who is entrusted with begetting children. Saha, he, Bhagavan, the most opulent. Ruchihi, the great sage Ruchi. Tasyam, in her. Ajijanat gave birth. Mitunam, couple. Brahmavachasvi, spiritually very much powerful. Paramena, with great strength. Samadhina, in trance. Ruchi, who was very powerful in his Brahminical qualifications and was appointed one of the progenitors of the living entities, begot one son and one daughter by his wife, Akuti. The word Brahmavacharsvi is very significant. Purport. Ruchi was a Brahmin, and he executed the Brahminical duties very rigidly. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, the Brahminical qualifications are control of the senses, control of the mind, cleanliness within and without, development of spiritual and material knowledge, simplicity, truthfulness, faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, etc. There are many qualities which indicate a Brahminical personality, and it is understood that Ruchi followed all the Brahminical principles rigidly. Therefore he is specifically mentioned as Brahma Vicharsvi, one who is born of a Brahmin father, one who is born of a Brahmin father but does not act as a Brahmin is called, in Vedic language, a Brahmabandhu, and is calculated to be on the level of Shudras and women. Thus, in the Bhagavatam, we find that Mahabharata was specifically compiled by Vyasadeva for Shtri Shudra Brahmabandhu. Shtri means women. Shudra means the lower class of civilized human society, and Brahmabandhu means persons who are born in the families of Brahmanas, but do not follow the rules and regulations carefully. All of these three classes are called less intelligent. They have no access to the study of the Vedas, which is specifically meant for persons who have acquired the Brahminical qualifications. This restriction is based not upon any sectarian distinction, but upon qualification. The Vedic literatures cannot be understood unless one has developed the Brahminical qualifications. It is regrettable, therefore, that persons who have no Brahminical qualifications and have never been trained under a bona fide spiritual master nevertheless comment on Vedic literatures, like the srimadbhagavatam and other Puranas. For such persons cannot deliver their real message. Ruchi was considered a first-class Brahmana. Therefore, he is mentioned here as Brahmavicharsvi, one who had full prowess and Brahminical strength. Om Niganativanandasya Karanjana Shalakaya Chakshudramalitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Kam Kadidavachalam Pangam Langa Tekirim Bhakripat Mahambande Shri Gurun Dinitarinam Vancha Kapadribhishta Kripa Sindhavi Vicha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaudavaktarinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Here you go. So as we've heard, I'm sure, quite a few times, but Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he asked some of his disciples to go to London to preach Krishna consciousness there. And, they weren't, because a lot of the times you could say that, devotees mentioned them failing and all that, which, from one angle of vision, yeah, they weren't like absolutely successful. They didn't establish any temples or anything like that. But they did meet quite a few high regarded personalities and, preached to them and spoke with them and all that. So in one of the cases they met, I think his name was, is the car on this side? Yeah. Okay. We better move it, huh? I don't want to get a ticket. So we, his name was, I think his name was Marquise, like our old buddy Marquise, right? He used to live here. Zetlin, Marquise, Lord Zetlin, yeah. So then Lord Zetlin asked the devotees there, can you make me a Brahmin? You know, I want to be a Brahmin, because he must have been hearing about a Brahmin, and that's considered whatever. It's considered good to be a Brahmin and like a prestigious position. Maybe God knows what he was thinking. But somehow or other he wanted to be a Brahmin. So, you know, which means the initiation and giving the thread and all that. So then, so he said, can you make me a Brahmin? And then the devotee said, yes, I can make you a Brahmin, but you have to follow a few principles. And then Zetlin said, oh yeah, what are those? The devotee said, well, they are no illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling, no meat eating, you know. And then in his, you know, British accent or whatever, he said, oh, impossible. I can't do that. So he didn't become a Brahmin. So he's saying impossible, right? So, so anyways, but to become a Brahmin though means, or to follow the Brahminical lifestyle means to follow particular principles, and those are the basic ones, right? Those are like super basic. That's like the basic preliminary qualifications for entering any type of even close to resembling Brahminical life or life of a Brahmin. And then there's so many other things to consider, principles to live by, which are, as Prabhupada mentions in the Bhagavatam purport that we just read, mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, simplicity and cleanliness and austerity and all these different types of things. So, and, you know, Prabhupada would stress this all the time, mode of goodness, and then you add Krishna consciousness, and this is like it's like a recipe for success in Krishna consciousness. But he would emphasize mode of goodness. And even in the Bhagavatam itself, there's these famous verses from the, the first canto. And there's a book put together, Dharma, and Dravida Prabhu put this together, right? I like the cover. I like the cover in hardback, and the Indian version that they printed, it's soft cover. This is nicer, actually. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, really? But this is a nice book, yeah. Too bad we don't print these anymore. So in this book, there are some of the famous verses of the first canto. And in one of those verses, it describes that at one point the modes of passion and ignorance are removed. How does that verse go? Tada rajas tamobha. Which one is that? Savaipum soparo. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's it's 19. So this is Canto 1, Chapter 2, Text 18, and then 19 is the one I'm referring to. But 18 is a famous verse, right? Nasta prayeshu badreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. In loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. So, saying regular attendance in the Bhagavatam classes. So it doesn't say that, whatever, sometimes when I feel like it, whatever. It says regular attendance in Bhagavatam classes. So, and then it says that all of these troublesome things to the heart are destroyed, right? Almost destroyed. And then in the next verse, it describes Tadara just tamo bhava. Kama loba dayaschaye chetar etar anavidhim stitam sattve prasidati. So as soon as irrevocable loving service is established in the heart. So maybe you could explain irrevocable, that word definition.
Well, the whole idea is this is the nishta, which is the last verse, the end of the last verse of the previous verse, naistiki.
Yeah.
So that nice to give the thing nishta as in Rupa Goswami's progression of nishta, of faith. So that's like this unbreakable faith that Krishna consciousness is the way to go. That's all we have to do. That's what he defines as real faith. So that means irrevocable means you're not going back. In other words, there's no fall down after that. You're so determined that you're straight on the path.
Okay.
What's the word revoke? Like irrevocable. You can't revoke.
Yeah, right.
And what does it mean to revoke?
To revoke means to cancel.
Cancel. Okay. Your bhakti doesn't become canceled, huh, by other things. So, irrevocable loving service is established in the heart. The effects of nature's modes of passion and ignorance. So the effects, what are the effects of the nature's modes of passion and ignorance? In other words, what do those produce, right? Lust, desire, and hankering disappear from the heart. Then the devotee is established in goodness, and then what happens is that what everybody wants, and what everybody's writing, hundreds and thousands of books upon, and asking thousands of questions here and there all over the world, right? They want this particular thing. And what does it say? And he becomes completely happy. So that's the recipe for happiness, that we have to get rid of the effects, nature's modes of passion and ignorance, lust, desire, hankering, all these different things, or else we'll never be happy. So we may be whatever, here, there, anywhere in the world, but as long as we're suffering from these different effects of nature's modes of passion and ignorance, then yeah, can't be happy. So that's why if we're at all feeling unhappiness in our lives, then it's stemming from this. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada is saying, goodness, we got to establish ourselves in goodness by hearing the Bhagavatam, by living in a certain way, like that. So in this book, The Backward Glance, it's a big book here. It's quite big, right? The Backward Glance, it's a new book by Borijan Prabhu. Detailed overview of 11 and 12 canto. He did the 1 through 4, and then he did 11 through 12. And the reason he said he did that was because he was doing some classes on the 11th and 12th canto. So he figured, okay, I'll just... So then he's going to do the rest. So anyways, it's really... I started it, but I didn't get to a farce yet. But in the book, in this book, at the very end, he has a section in the appendix. It's called Elevation to the Mode of Goodness. And he describes first, passion, ignorance, and then he has this interesting list. He categorized all these, aspects of goodness. So I'll just read that, because I think could be helpful for us. So first, it's a small description of passion and ignorance. And then from this, we could see where we are actually. We could have a sense where we are in all of this. And it's not that a lot of the times that we're always, in passion, or we're always in ignorance, or we're always in goodness, but we kind of, go around, here and there. So, but the idea is to be situated in goodness. So this is passion. It says, and this is all from Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. So great attachment, fruit of activity, intense endeavor, uncontrolled desire and hankering, and the tendency to speculate. One is never satisfied with one's position. One feels family attachment, greed, a desire for respect and honor. And it says in parentheses, and is willing to perform sacrifices simply to gain that respect and honor. That's passion. Some aspects. And it says ignorance. It's interesting, it does passion then ignorance. Anyways. So, ignorance, whimsy, purposelessness, inactivity, madness, foolishness, misery, distress, intoxication, illusion, excessive sleep, degradation, laziness, renunciation of activities meant for spiritual welfare, and seeking of happiness without considering its effects on one's self-realization. So anyways, that's some... And then it says goodness. So the goodness, this is where we want to head towards and go and be in. These are the different. It says, austerities practiced with faith for the sake of Krishna and without the expectation of material benefit are, according to the Gita, being performed in the mode of goodness. So austerity of the body. Worship of the Supreme Lord, worship of the Brahmins, worship of the spiritual master, worship of the parents, cleanliness, simplicity, non-violence, celibacy. Speech. Speaking words that are truthful, pleasing, beneficial, not agitating to others, and regularly reciting Vedic literature. Austerities of the mind. Satisfaction, simplicity, gravity, self-control, purifications, one existence. And then he mentions some more qualities. Peaceful, self-control, austere, pure, tolerant, honest, knowledgeable, wise, religious. He gives charity when? When does he give charity? Yeah, to the proper person, in a worthy place, at a proper time. What does Prabhupada describe as a proper time? In the maybe a holy day or something, or a special day, I don't know. Those in goodness have unbreakable determination. They control the mind, control their actions, control their senses. So if we want unbreakable determination, I was talking with a devotee recently, and he was mentioning this idea of, what is it? Something motivation, full-fledged motivation. What you could say is almost like full-fledged determination, right? Same kind of, you're motivated. So it's saying here that those who are in goodness, they have that unbreakable determination. Why? Because they're controlling their mind, and they're controlling their actions, and they're controlling their senses, right? And people who don't have determination, this is the reason, because they can't control their mind, they can't focus. Yeah, Bohu Shaka. And they can't control their actions, they can't control their senses. In other words, they're all over the place. So we have to come, to goodness, so we could, focus and concentrate and not, get to this level of unbreakable determination, which is like really, really important in Krishna consciousness, determination. And you see all of our acharyas, they're so determined. They're so determined to help humanity. They're so determined to spread Krishna consciousness. They are, and also devotees now, in this time, there's many devotees, good devotees around the world, and they're very determined. And actually the sannyasis, they have this word, it's, what is it called? Yati? I think yati, it means they're always striving for, for the good thing. Yeah, always striving. So that's important. Those in goodness discriminate between what should and should not be done. They perform their duties, and it says, without false ego, with great determination, with enthusiasm, without wavering in success or failure, only because it ought to be done, without fearing the troublesome effects. They also dutifully go to the temple, simply to offer respect to the deity. Those in the goodness are attracted to foods that increase the duration of life, purify the mind, give the body strength. Those in goodness are happy because, so why are they happy? Yeah. It says here, they aren't affected by material miseries. They know that they're free from material reactions. They associate with things that awaken them to self-realization. So yeah, there's certain things and people that don't awake us to self-realization. They do the opposite. They distract us. They degrade us, right? They degrade our mind. So we want to associate with things and people that enliven us in Krishna consciousness, awaken us to self-realization. That's goodness. Those in goodness are free of illusion. All right, so we're almost done. Those in goodness are free of illusion and have knowledge about the soul beyond the body. Those in goodness are not hateful of things that trouble the body, hateful of inauspicious work, attached to auspicious work. I wonder what that means, hateful of inauspicious work. It says they're not hateful of inauspicious work.
It sounds like coming from the Gita,
Mm-hmm.
where they're not upset when negative things happen,
Okay. In calamity, yeah. So there's just...
They don't engage in it because they don't freak out.
Okay. Those in goodness have no doubts about work. They renounce all material association, all attachments to fruits of their work. They perform sacrifices according to the direction of Scripture as a matter of duty, desiring no reward. And they understand things in the correct perspective. That's the thing. So, so yeah, you could see that these are very beneficial qualities to have to help us just be Krishna conscious and spread Krishna consciousness. These are very important things. And, you know, sometimes devotees, they criticize or whatever. They point out the faults of other religious people and this and that, which yeah, there are faults, and Prabhupada would point it out too. You know, for example, eating meat, right? Prabhupada said the so-called Christians eating meat, right? Because you'd say, right, in the Bible, thou shalt not kill. So, but it is the age of hypocrisy, but we also have things to live up to. I mean, we may not eat meat, but I mean, monkeys also don't eat meat. Who else doesn't eat meat? What other type of animals? I don't know. I mean, any animal fact knowers here? What other type of animals don't eat meat? Giraffes don't eat meat. Elephant. Yeah, so there's so many animals who don't eat meat. It's like, oh, it's such a, you know, and everybody think, oh, it's such a great qualification. Yeah, it's good, but it's a basic qualification. So, yes, we don't do that, but there are so many things that we also have to do to live up to a particular standard, or at least try to live up to that standard of, you could say, religious or spiritual life. So, like, for example, in the Bhagavatam, it says in the 12th canto that the predictions of Kali Yuga says that the Brahmins will be, you know, they'll simply have a thread, you know, but no qualities. So, I mean, these threads, anybody could buy them in India, like absolutely anybody, even me. I could buy them in India for some cheap price, and you could buy a big bundle of them. I have a big bundle of them upstairs, so then I don't have to keep on buying them, you know, because you change them once a month or whatever, once every 2 weeks. But yeah, it says that they'll have them, and they're just no qualities, no Brahminical qualities. So, you know, within ISKCON, we also get the Brahmin threads, but we're supposed to have qualities, or else we're kind of fulfilling the prediction of Kali Yuga. Means the bad predictions, which we don't want to do, right? Or it says that the brahmacharis will be unclean. We don't want to fulfill those bad predictions. You know, in other words, we want to be not affected by Kali Yuga in terms of hypocrisy. So, so yeah, therefore, it's important that we know, those of us who have wearing these Brahmin threads, and those of us who will wear the Brahmin threads, that we know these qualities, and we try to live up to them as far as possible, and we really try, right? Yati, we're striving. Or else we're just, you know, we're just as good as the people that we're criticizing. You know, whatever, the meat-eating religious people or whatever, we're just as good as them. Means in terms of hypocrisy. So, so yeah, Prabhupada's mentioned in the purport all these Brahminical qualifications, and saying that the qualification for studying Vedic literature is actually being trained under a spiritual master, and, you know, performing austerities, and it's a lot. It's not just like, oh, here's a book and, you know, go for it, figure it out yourself. But in order to actually become qualified to understand what's being stated in the Vedic literature, there actually has so much to do before that, before people could actually understand. So also with us, I mean, with all the deep imports, is that the right word? Yeah, the deep imports of the Vedic literature that cannot actually be understood unless we do so many things before that. And specifically, a lot of humble service. with enthusiasm, determination, and sacrifice, austerity. Just like Krishna, he went out when he was with his childhood buddy, right? Sudama Brahman. They're childhood buddies. So when they were there under Sandipani Muni, that's right? What do you say it? Sandipani Muni? Sandipani. Okay, Sandipani Muni. He sent him out to go get forest wood or forest fire. No, forest wood in the forest for fire, to create a fire. So, and they went out there, young boys. They went out there collecting the wood, the firewood, and then a storm came, and they got stuck out there in the forest. And then Sandipani Muni, he eventually, he went and found them, and the other boys found them, and then they came back. And Sandipani Muni said that from all your humble service, now I'm blessing you. And you know what the blessing was? Yeah. I think it was like all the imports of the Vedic literature will be revealed to you, and whatever you say will remain fresh. So, Krishna speaks Bhagavad Gita, it's ever fresh. So, yeah, the blessing by the service, the blessing comes. And then the understanding comes. The understanding comes of the Vedic literature. So, and it's actually very important that we understand, because if we don't understand, then that's a problem, If we don't understand what we're following in our life, the books, if we don't understand what we're doing, it's kind of like, it's a little bit it's a strange platform to actually be on, because, it could become fanatical, it could become sentimental, it could become materialistic, it could become boring, it could become whatever. So many things it's not. So we have to understand by service. And of course, it says in the purport, so we have to make mention of it, that this idea that, which of course nowadays is completely not appreciated and looked down upon, and all these different things about, says there's certain personalities who are considered less intelligent. That's considered like horrible, for modern people, if we were to say this, and which we're saying now. So of course it's a big topic, and but within the Bhagavatam it is mentioned many times. Prabhupada mentions it very frankly and clearly in many of his books. And it's referring to women, Shri, right, Shudra, was it Bandhu, Dvija Bandhu? So that they have, everybody has intelligence, obviously. A human being means they have intelligence. Not they have no intelligence, but the intelligence that they have makes it more difficult to understand Vedic literature, right? To have a philosophical mind, a rational mind, and therefore it says Vyasadeva, what did he do? Put together all the Mahabharata, right? And there's stories, and then they learn learn something like that. So so the intelligence, it's not that they have no intelligence, but the intelligence is just different, and that the intelligence of those personalities actually it contributes to if it's engaged properly and in a Krishna conscious way, it actually contributes to the you could say to the wholesomeness of society, of human society. But if it's not engaged properly, then again, just like anything else, it leads to degradation. So anyways, the time is run out, so does anyone have any? Yes, Ryan, or you're yawning? Okay, you're yawning and, you're stretching and you have your hand up? Multitasking, okay.
Which one is it?
Devaki. She was just here.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
It was funny because I read, she gave it to me, and then so I turned it over, and I saw this big quote,
Yeah.
and I just read the first phrase, and so this could be controversial.
Yeah.
Women should not think that they're the men. Boy, I haven't started on it. But then the next said that they're more than men.
Yeah. Well, I noticed in this comment is that tendency of women with false egos hurt, so they want to think of somehow, some way that they're better than men. So there's that tendency. But in one of the ways that you often hear in ISKCON is this kind of watered down distortion of the philosophy is, oh, it's not that women are less intelligent, their intelligence is just different. And that is true to some extent, but it is considered their intelligence is less because women are more attached to sense gratification. Therefore, they're more likely to focus on the temporary and ignore the long-term benefits, whereas men are less attached to sense gratification. Therefore, they're more likely to understand the long-term ramifications of their immediate actions. Therefore, the man should be in charge. But because a woman is more absorbed in meditating on how to adjust the material energy for her own sense gratification, therefore women can often be more clever on how to get things done than men. But it's described that women should always be submissive to men because even if a woman might know how to perform an action in a superior way to a man because she's meditated on how to manipulate the material energy so much, that ultimately she should defer to the man because the man ultimately keeps the higher vision in the forefront of his mind. Women are then considered the way I word it is less wise. Women can be more clever than men, but they're less wise. Wisdom is a superior form of intelligence to mere cleverness and creativity. But men and women are equal because women have more Shakti than men. Women have more power than men. Whereas women, so the man needs the Shakti of the woman in order to be able to function at his highest potential. He's literally feeding off her Shakti that she created. But the woman needs the guidance of the man to control her Shakti in a beneficial direction, so it's not just like all over the place.
Yeah, of course it's, because we've discussed this, like, what is it? In Kapila Dev's teaching, just in the third canto, there's a whole section where we went into all this. So, yeah, I hope I wasn't doing injustice because I just mentioned just very briefly, but yeah, that is true that it could be, and I'm not of, I hope I didn't portray myself of the opinion that, I'm like a watering down, because I said that it's different intelligence, which is true, but Prabhupada also said it's less intelligent because ultimately the intelligence to get the HEL out of this world is the highest intelligence, which men have more built within them. In other words, renunciation, the ability, the desire, the what is it called, the inclination for renunciation, which is important because that's right, Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to teach, right? Knowledge and renunciation. So, because if we're just attached to this world, then that's not intelligent. That's unintelligent. I mean, I have attachment to this world, and therefore, but I'm trying to, But I do want to ask you why you said about Devaki's book that maybe you're not saying it's the best for brahmacharis.
I want to make one quick last point, then I'll say that. But with power comes responsibility. So because women have more Shakti than men, a woman's insults are actually much more hurtful to the emotional body than a man's insults. Because a man's verbalizations carry much less Shakti with them. So when a man insults a woman, it's much less painful to the woman than when a woman insults a man. Therefore, in Vedic culture, it's considered grossly wrong for a woman to ever talk back to a man or insult a man. But men have more physical strength and energy than women. So with that comes greater responsibility. So therefore, it's considered grossly immoral for a man to ever hit a woman. So women are never allowed to commit subtle violence against men because they're so powerful that their subtle violence is very destructive. And men are not allowed to commit physical violence against women because they're so physically powerful, their physical violence is so destructive. Very interesting.
And Devaki is putting this in her book?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay.
And so, yeah, the reason that I don't recommend It's just like, okay, this is how the husband thinks, this is how the wife thinks, this is how the wife needs to deal with the husband. It's just like all
You're like, wow, it's starting to, it's not so bad, We just have to know everybody's psychology properly and align ourselves, right?
I would suggest that the tendency is, the man and the woman. But you have in ISKCON, you have some pretty smart women. I mean, they're smart in all the ways that, men are supposed to be smarter.
Yeah.
They're austere, they're like Irma, I would dare, to go to different books, you could do HP,
Yeah.
But it's true that it wouldn't be, I don't want to say it wouldn't be, the whole country with me, but it's a difficulty would arise for her to be a spiritual master. Because you have to deal with all kinds of emotional things in a person's marriage and all these things, it's not just, it's not, but as far as, she produced this incredible book I called the Manak Shiksha. She solicited the commentaries from Shivaram Swami and Jayawada Swami and Bhakti Vigyan Swami and Swatinathan Swami and it's fabulous. So on the average, I'm thinking that, women as a whole, generally, just because of the nature of the whole baby thing and the need that, genetic and hormonal, they're like subject to more emotional control. And that's disaster for steady devotional life, or spiritual life. But it doesn't mean that certain exceptional ways can actually be very austere. I mean, this lady Devaki, with me, preached for 18 years in Bangladesh.
Yeah.
So there's obviously special ladies, and we should always remember that. And there's plenty of guys who are totally out of controlled by their emotions, crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not just talking about ISKCON, so you can't say man, women are like this.
Yeah.
Just like say, black people with their less intelligence. That's stupid. I'm not talking about averages, but there are plenty of black people who are really, really smart, and there's plenty of white people who are really, really stupid.
Yeah.
You just have to be more refined in how you make decisions. But I'm not arguing against the Shastra, but that, on just general principles, yes, women have a more difficult time in the field of cultivating wisdom, knowledge, wisdom, austerity, because they're not built for it.
Yeah.
But then you have Gandhari, you have the gopis.
Yeah.
There's a lot of miscommunication during conversations when there's general points and absolute points. Absolute points are absolutely true. General points are generally true. So often I'll find this. I'm making a generalization, a general point, which is generally true. It is a fact that it's generally true. But then someone will be like, oh, well, what about in this case? And what about in that case? But hello, that's the whole point. Is there's something generally true? That means that there's always going to be exceptions when it's not true. It's only generally true. It's not absolutely true.
So, are you going to continue reading that book?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah. So, like, for example, if one were to make the generalization that people in Saudi Arabia don't drink alcohol, that is generally true. It is generally true that people in Saudi Arabia don't drink alcohol. But if you were to do an investigation of every single person that lives in Saudi Arabia, I'm sure you would find somebody brewing beer and secretly in a restaurant drinking it. Somewhere out of like tens of millions of people, you would find one person. So generalizations are only generally true. They're not absolutely true. You can always find exceptions to generalizations. That's the whole point. But it's not that all generalizations should be thrown out the window because it is generally true that eating McDonald's is unhealthy. It is generally true that people in Saudi Arabia don't drink alcohol.
Might be an absolute with a McDonald's thing. Anyways, I don't know. All right, so we'll continue after we're back. Grantat srimadbhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Sing with us, all together, everyone. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna